Let's jump right into this. Today, we're unpacking a figure whose fiercely debated legacy is literally still shaping modern India. We're talking about a 23-year-old revolutionary who absolutely electrified the 1930s anti-colonial movement. His name? Bhagat Singh. And man, he is a figure of just immense paradoxes. Because as you'll see, behind this towering myth of the martyr, there's actually a deeply intellectual, constantly evolving mind. So let's peel back the layers of history here. To really get Bhagat Singh, I think we need to start with this incredibly famous quote from a leaflet he scattered in 1929. He wrote, "It is easy to kill individuals, but you cannot kill the ideas. Great empires crumbled while the ideas survived." It's just a brilliant encapsulation of his core philosophy, right? He recognized super early on that his physical life might be cut short, but his ideological impact, that could be immortal. Section 1. The Assembly Bombing. Okay, picture the scene. It's April 8th, 1929. The British Viceroy is using these special, overarching powers to force through some highly unpopular laws. And down in the public gallery, Bhagat Singh and Batukeshwar Dutt. Right in the middle of this tense atmosphere, to protest the laws, they actually hurl 2 homemade bombs directly into the unoccupied benches of the Central Legislative Assembly. But wait, here is the ultimate paradox of this whole event. This was a revolutionary act that was intentionally designed to avoid bloodshed. I mean, the bombs were literally engineered not to kill anyone. And as smoke fills the room, Singh and Dutt, they don't even try to run. No way. They just stand their ground, shower the room with leaflets, shout "Long live the revolution," and basically orchestrate their own arrest. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth would they do that? Well, Singh wanted to use the British courts as this massive, highly visible public stage to broadcast his cause to the entire nation. Section 2. Avenging Lajpat Rai. Okay, let's back up just a bit to understand a crucial mystery here. When Singh was arrested in the assembly, the police realized they just caught a wanted fugitive. He was already running from the law. So let's flash back to late 1928. Mass protests are erupting against the Simon Commission, which was a British commission deciding India's political future that shockingly included 0 Indians. During a protest in Lahore, Police Superintendent James Scott orders this brutal baton charge, and he personally assaults a widely respected Indian nationalist leader named Lala Lajpat Rai. A few weeks later, tragically, Rai dies of a heart attack, which practically everyone believed was hastened by those severe injuries. So, the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association, or the HSRA, they vow retaliation against Scott. But the retaliation did not go as planned. In December 1928, in a tragic case of mistaken identity, Singh's group actually shot John P. Saunders, who was just a 21-year-old assistant superintendent still on probation. An associate named Rajguru fired the first shot, and then Singh fired several more at close range. And it gets worse. As the group was fleeing the scene, another revolutionary, Chandrasekhar Azad, shot and killed an Indian head constable named Chanan Singh, who was trying to pursue them. What followed was just a massive, intense police manhunt across Lahore. But their escape was incredibly cunning. Singh actually cut his hair and shaved his beard to mask his Sikh identity, throwing on a Western hat. A comrade's wife, Durga Bobby, bravely stepped in to help. Carrying her sleeping child, she and Singh posed as this young, traveling family, while Rajguru carried their luggage posing as their servant. And it worked. They successfully boarded a train out of the city, totally evading the massive CID net, and slipped into the shadows as fugitive. Section 3. The Prison Battle. So this period right here becomes the crucial bridge between Singh's violent revolutionary acts and the profound intellectualism that really defines his legacy. Remember that assembly bombing we started with? Well, that whole stunt legally backfired the second police connected his arrest to the Saunders murder. He was moved to Mianwali jail. But, Singh didn't stop fighting just because he was behind bars. He immediately noticed this severe, undeniable discrimination between the European and Indian prisoners, and he decided to launch a historic hunger strike. And this wasn't just about the food, right? It was a fight for basic human dignity. They demanded official recognition as political prisoners, not common criminals. They wanted equal food standards, basic hygiene, and crucially, they demanded access to books and a daily newspaper to keep their minds sharp. The authorities, they tried absolutely everything to break them. They'd secretly fill their water pitchers with milk, hoping they'd accidentally break their fast, and they even resorted to brutal forced feedings. But the revolutionaries resisted it all. 116 days. Just think about that. That is how long Bhagat Singh maintained his hunger strike before finally heeding requests to end it. It gripped the entire nation. It turned Singh into a household name way, way beyond his native Punjab. But man, it came at a terrible cost. His comrade, Jatin Das, tragically died of starvation after fasting for 63 days. Section 4. Ideology and Atheism. So while his body was withering away in that cell, his intellect was rapidly expanding. Bhagat Singh was a voracious reader, and his worldview evolved significantly during his imprisonment. To really grasp Singh's evolution, it helps to compare him to Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi, as we know, championed nonviolent resistance, aiming for a peaceful transition to independence. But Singh, he fundamentally disagreed with this approach. He believed that mere nonviolence, without systemic change, would simply replace the British exploiters with Indian exploiters. Drawing heavily from Bolshevism and anarchism, Singh was actually aiming for complete state abolition, dismantling capitalism and entirely reconstructing society on a Marxist basis. It's a massive difference in vision. This deep intellectual dive also led him to fundamentally reevaluate religion. While he was in prison, a fellow Sikh inmate named Randir Singh tried to convince him of God's existence and ultimately ended up accusing Bhagat Singh of just being blinded by fame and ego. Well, Singh responded by writing this incredibly powerful essay titled Why I Am an Atheist. In it, he firmly declared that he would absolutely not turn to God simply to ease the fear of his impending death. He wrote, "For such petty, selfish motives, I shall never pray. Reader and friends, is it vanity? If it is, I stand for it." His rejection of religion wasn't just some abstract philosophical exercise, though it was deeply pragmatic. He had witnessed horrific communal violence between Hindus and Muslims, and it severely disillusioned him. He concluded that religion was actively hindering the unified struggle for independence. He argued that humans basically created the idea of God merely as a comforting imagination in times of distress and limitation. So instead of religion, he found his comfort and direction in studying atheist revolutionaries like Vladimir Lenin, Karl Marx, and Mikhail Bakunin. Section 5. Execution and Enduring Legacy. This brings us to the highly controversial end of Bhagat Singh's life and the enduring mythos that was born the very moment he died. To speed up what was becoming a really slow legal process, the British viceroy completely bypassed standard judicial procedures and set up a special tribunal. Through an ex parte trial, which means the accused were completely absent and had literally no opportunity to defend themselves, Singh, Rajguru, and Sukhdev were sentenced to death by hanging. Legal scholars and even the modern Supreme Court of India have pointed out that this trial was completely contrary to the fundamental doctrines of criminal jurisprudence. 11 hours ahead of schedule, at just 23 years old, Singh was hanged. When asked for his final wish, he simply asked to finish reading Clara Zetkin's book on Lenin. Naturally, news of this secret execution sparked massive outcries. Instantly, Bhagat Singh was transformed from a militant revolutionary into this untouchable folk hero. The masses across northern India bestowed upon him the reverent title Shahid-e-Azam, which translates from Urdu and Punjabi as the Great Martyr. His sacrifice galvanized a rapidly growing militancy across the country and forced some really urgent introspection within the broader, nonviolent Indian National Congress. But look at the immense paradox of modern politics today. Completely opposed political factions all try to claim a piece of Bhagat Singh's legacy, while conveniently ignoring his actual writings. Gandhi-inspired nationalists hail him as a patriot, sure, but they condemn his violence. Hindu and Sikh nationalists claim him as a cultural hero, but they completely turn a blind eye to his fierce, militant atheism. And pro-armed struggle Naxalites claim him as a militant rebel, while completely ignoring his later philosophical shifts, where he actively critiqued individual terrorism. It's like everyone wants a piece of the myth, but not the man. And that leaves us with a really profound question to walk away with today. When a revolutionary is transformed into a symbol, who actually gets to decide what that symbol means? As Bhagat Singh himself pointed out, it is easy to kill individuals, but you cannot kill ideas. Yet looking at his legacy today, we see how easily history can kill a person, only to entirely rewrite their ideas to fit a convenient new narrative. The actual man behind the martyr is complex, highly intellectual, and full of contradictions. I highly encourage you to go read his original essays for yourself. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and remember to keep questioning the history you think you know.